Well, the script was not presented to me because I was still nobody in the industry, really. I had done some small movie parts here and there, like I said,
Hmm.
and um, I got a call from I finally got an agent, and I got a call from my agent that said that they're looking for real martial artists to do this movie based off a video game, which is called Mortal Kombat. And I said, wow, I love that game. My two favorite characters are Raiden and Scorpion. I love those characters. And I
Yeah.
used to drive, I used to drive 10 miles to go play this video game at this arcade way back in the day. So I really did love it. And they're auditioning for background fighters. And I'm like, cool. I want to be in a major Hollywood movie. I've never done that before. It was just like B movies and smaller budget stuff. So we go out there to for that, and there was like 100 guys for this thing, and I think they needed 20 or 25. But the cool news for me was they had it set up like a martial arts tournament. And I told you, I was the number one competitor in the country at that time. So the way they had the room set, I was like, oh my God, this is right in my wheelhouse. It's going to be perfect. And they had like three people sitting in a chair, and they go, just come up and show us your best stuff. So I was like, okay. And I got a chance to watch some of the people, and they were really good. I'm like, oh man, I want to do something different that's going to set me apart. So I start doing my routine, and I realized while the guys are sitting in the chair there, they're only about 3.5 feet high. And I go, you know what? I can clear them. And so I ran right at the guys in the chair, and I did a jump sidekick over the top of them. And I remember them looking up like this and watching me go over top. And then I did a couple other moves on the other side of them, and I jumped back over and landed. So that night I got a phone call, and they said, hey, we want you to come back the next day. I'm like, cool, it's great. So next day I go back, and there's like 50 guys. It's like, let's half the group. And they had me do some more stuff. And then that night I get another phone call. We want you to come back again. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm talking to my agent. I'm like, how hard is it to be a background person in this movie? Because when I got there on the first day, they're like, all the roles are cast. We have the full thing. We just need background fighters for this scene, and you've got to be real martial artists. Cool. So I go back the third day. There's only three of us, me and two other guys. And I'm like, I don't even know what this is. I don't know what they're doing. And they had an actual movie camera there on that third day, and they were just kind of filming us standing there. And I'm looking at the other two guys. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And then a guy walks over and he says, hey, would you guys mind taking off your shirts? So part of my fault as a human is I'm a little bit of a smartass. So when he said that,
Hmm.
and I was nervous. And when he said that, I looked at him and I go, well, listen, if it will help me get in this movie, I'll go back to your trailer. So when I said that, yeah, that's what I was hoping for, was that laugh. But he just
Yeah.
looked at me deadpan, like no, that was not funny to him at all. And I was like, oh shit, whatever this is, I just lost it. Like that was my thought. So we take off our shirts, and it's a champion competitor, so I was in great shape. Guy on my left, he was a little heavy. Guy on my right, he was like a kind of okay shape. And they're just filming us, and then they go into this football huddle behind the camera for what seemed like forever. A whole bunch of people. I have no idea who they were. And then after about 30 seconds, the same guy they made the joke to, walks over and shakes my hand. He says, welcome to Mortal Kombat. You are going to be Scorpion. So up until that moment, like I had no idea that part was even open or what we were doing. And so, and by the way, the guy they made the joke to ended up, he was the director of the movie, but I didn't know who he was. And so
Wow.
he tells the joke this day. He goes, yeah, you thought you were being funny, but it wasn't funny. And I'm like, I know, I was just nervous. Um, so yeah, that's how I ended up getting the Mortal Kombat part.
Man, that's
I
amazing.
just
Cause
right place, right time. And listen, people always ask me, well, were the roles really full, or were they just saying that? I don't know. I never really knew, but I'm kind
Mhm.
of, in a way, I'm kind of glad that they didn't say any roles were open, because I probably would have been more nervous. For me, I was just trying to be a background fighter. So it really wasn't a lot of pressure. I was just out there having fun and doing whatever. So it wasn't until that moment that I realized that.
Man, that's amazing. Cause I think I know what you're talking about. It was the guys that had the red turbans on and they were just standing there or
Right. Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah. There
Wow.
was that, and then the guys that were background in the Goro fight, when Goro
Yeah.
fights the Art Lean guy in the ring. There's a bunch of
Yeah.
people cheering around the edge of the ring. That's all I thought I was going out for. So